and the CEC, the directors, and other leaders from both private sector and non-government organizations, agripreneurs in the room, and all protocols observed. This morning, I have bad news for you, unfortunately. As we sit here today, we have an average of 1 million young people coming out of tertiary institutions every year. Unfortunately, 75% of them remain unemployed or underemployed. But then again, agriculture is touted as the sector that will be able to create the decent jobs that these young people will be able to take up. But in the past few years, my conversations with these agripreneurs has revealed that they can no longer be able to produce the same amount of produce that they were able to produce 5 years ago on the same piece of land. This, of course, has been as a result of the degraded soils and productive resources. Climate change is here with us, with its attendant impact in terms of late onset of rainfall and early cessation. We've seen an increase in terms of pests and diseases that are now more resistant and lethal. We've seen a scenario where droughts is now becoming a norm as opposed to being something that we can be able to predict. The challenges remain huge. Of course, COVID-19 has been here with us. The shocks are more frequent. The good news is that in 2019, practical action with funding from IKEA Foundation partnered with the counties of Kisumu and Homa Bay to be able to take on this huge challenge. And as a result of that, we crafted and came up with a project that we dubbed Transforming Rural Economies and Youth Livelihoods. This is a highly ambitious project that we took on, transforming rural economies and youth livelihoods. We took a whole year consulting stakeholders, engaging with the county government representatives in a co-creation process. And as a result of that, we ended up selecting a few value chains that are able to transform rural economies and be able to create decent opportunities for young people. We settled on tomatoes, African vegetables, and poultry. So these were the value chains that were able to reverse the degradation within the rural economies, create the regeneration, and of course, open up opportunities to young people and be able to deliver decent incomes. It has been a journey that we've walked for the past 5 years. And this morning, I just want to pick one activity alone. We piloted quite a number of interventions. Most of them were quite successful, but I can just talk about one because I have limited time. One of the interventions that we have been rolling out with the two counties of Homa Bay and Kisumu is a mentorship model that is driven by business relationships. So basically, one young person identifies another set of 15 others. They come together, identify a business opportunity, and then they develop that enterprise so that they can be able to start benefiting. It sounds as simple as I've said, and that is how straight it is. But I've seen this particular intervention transform the lives of our people. I will take, for example, one of the young guys who is based down here in Seme. The young guy is called Douglas. So Douglas has been able to establish an enterprise which he has formalized and calls it Marwa Enterprises. The business of Douglas is to process groundnuts into peanut butter that has been laced with honey. Douglas, as we speak today, is working with another set of 20 young people whom he has contracted to produce for him groundnuts so that he can be able to sustainably process peanut butter. But then again, Douglas is already employing six other young people who are helping him in terms of the running the plant and being the six people who are selling this product out there. And as part of his model, he's also working with the last mile distributors as agents, another set of 20 young people who are helping him to be able to penetrate the market. So we are already talking about a set of 50 young people who are earning some decent income from one enterprise. But then again, it's not just about earning decent income. These young people are producing groundnuts, which has got the additional value in terms of fixing nitrogen in the soils. And they are working with their parents to ensure that whenever the parents harvest their main crop from the land, then they come in with their groundnuts to be able to plant and make money out of it. And some of them are working with their parents so that they can be able to intercrop and be able to reduce over reliance on synthetic fertilizers. The story doesn't end there. These young people are also rearing chicken as part of diversifying their incomes and diversifying enterprises within the farm. These young people who are rearing poultry are also working with another entrepreneur. And I hope one of you saw an entrepreneur at Rabog who is doing black soldier fly. So what is happening is that these young people, based on their relationship with Dudu Protein, who is based at Rabor, they are able to access protein. And protein is the main ingredient in the feeds for poultry. And of course, as you already know, the cost of chicken production, 70% of it is feeds. And if you address protein, which is the most expensive, then you are already talking about reduced cost of production. What does this do? It means that our young people are able to produce and be competitive at the marketplace. But Collins is also helping us in terms of producing two other products. He is able to produce what we call as frass as part of this black soldier fly enterprise. And he is able to partner with an herbal. Look at how we are solving a myriad of issues within the ecosystem. While the Aptua is struggling to remain compliant with the NEMA requirements in terms of waste disposal, here comes a young man who helps them to process their waste, make money out of it, be able to generate an alternative protein that is cheaper for our farmers, and be able to produce frass that is laced with calcium. He processes the bones so that he can be able to make this frass to be more nutritious and sells it to farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just a tip of the iceberg. This project has been working with 6,000 young people in the two counties. And they have come together so that they can be able to access finance. They have established youth saving and loaning mechanisms so that they can be able to start and grow their businesses, including their linkages with the financial institutions. They are now able to capture that market that they will not be able to capture as individuals. And one thing that I've observed over the years is that they now have a voice. They can be able to negotiate with market actors for better pricing. And in fact, I've seen them tell off some of these rogue buyers. I've seen them tell them, you can go to hell if you don't want to buy us from us on a price that is more reasonable for us. And especially those buyers who have decided that they don't want to go to heaven. So, ladies and gentlemen, all this has not been that rosy. We've been able to learn quite a number of insights that we'll be sharing in this particular conference. And I just want to share with you one learning as part of the interventions that we were delivering. One of the interventions was for us to enable young people to take up red Italian worm as an enterprise, rearing of red Italian worm. There are huge benefits in terms of the liquid vermijuice that comes out of that and is applied on horticulture as a foliar or as a pesticide, and the frass that comes out of that particular process. And we wanted it to become a business model so that it can be able to generate more income. Working with one of the enterprises, we said that, look, let's have seed worms as a product that can be able to be sold at the marketplace to push these particular interventions. Unfortunately, it never worked the way we wanted. Farmers ended up sharing this with each other, and there was no business model in it. The good news is that that was not the end of it. We now have a young man who is aggregating the vermijuice and the frass out of that and making money out of it. So as we envisioned 3 products out of that, we ended up with 2 products that were viable in terms of a business venture. As we speak today, most of our young people have increased their income 7-fold from an initial Kenyan shillings 7,000 per month to almost Kenyan shillings 45,000 per month. But that's not enough. It is just slightly above the $2 a day. As a project, we have planted the seed, we have watered this seed, we have nurtured it while it's in the nursery. It has now hardened and ready to be transplanted. As we share our learnings in this conference, I hope that we will have other people coming up so that you can be able to nurture these trees so that it can be able to flourish and be able to transform the rural economies. Thank you and welcome to the conference.
He deserves another round of applause. I could see the passion with which he's driving home his points, and especially when he mentioned that some people who do not want to go to heaven. For those who are new to this, to that particular discussion, as we go on, I will let you know where that originated, or if you're next to a person who has had that, they'll be able to explain to you what that means. It has gained traction, indeed.